Jazz Update with Jashari Silva. On today's episode of the Jazz Update, we're talking all about jazz icon Anita O'Day. She's a singer who won fame for her rhythm and vocals and her interpretation of ballads and also her scat singing and improvisation singing. She mainly took over the jazz scene in the bebop and swing era. In 1941, she recorded her first big hit with the Gene Krupa Band, a collaboration with Roy Aldridge called Let Me Off Uptown. She went on to inspire countless singers who came after her, from Helen Merrill to June Christy to Chris Connor. Anita O'Day was particularly famous for her impeccable style and her flair for her music that encompassed all areas of jazz. And on this segment, we are going to be talking about more of her best songs. The first song is called If the Moon Turns Green. Now this one's a song about how when love enters one's life, the power of love can make magic happen in one's life. The singer is singing about even if the moon turned green and shadows came to life and walked around, it wouldn't seem strange because when in love, magic happens. There's a funny song called Johnny One Note. This one's a satirical song that's both making fun of singers who can't sing. It's also a song about how it's all about the power of personality to create amazing music even when the singer isn't the best singer in the world. It's a song about this fictional character called Johnny. Another song called What Is This Thing Called Love? A song about the roller coaster of falling in love, the ups and downs of love. A woman falls in love and then she breaks up and now she's wondering what love really means. So on this segment, we're going to be talking all about the meanings of these songs, and you're tuned into the Weekend Jazz Update with Jashani Silva. We'll be right back after some music. Stay tuned. Weekend Jazz Update with Jashani Silva. On today's episode of the Jazz Update, we're talking all about jazz great Anita O'Day, her life and times and best hits. On this segment, we're talking about more of her greatest songs. The first song is called If the Moon Turns Green. Now this one's a song about how love can completely alter one's perceptions on life. The singer is singing about how it all began, when happiness wasn't to be and fate wasn't kind. And then, into her life, love appeared like a light in the darkness and nothing was the same after that. So the singer is dreaming of the amazing things that are in store, things that only come with being in love. She sings about how even if the moon turned green and shadows came to life and walked around, it wouldn't feel that improbable because when in love, magic happens. So it's a song about how when love enters one's life, the power of transformation to make magic happen in one's life. Johnny One Note is a rather satirical comedic song. This one's a song about this fictional singer called Johnny. He can only sing one note. And yet he sings that one note, repeating it throughout the song. And yet it's not about his inability to sing. It's his personality, his gusto. And when he starts singing, listeners are just thrown off balance. So we see Johnny singing, getting blue in the face, and yet the power of his singing draws the crowds to him. One day, Johnny gets to sing in Aida, that's a musical opera written by Giuseppe Verdi. And then he starts singing like the north wind. That causes even Verdi to roll in his grave, drawing winds of fame and bringing the crowds onto their feet. There's trombones and flutes and other instruments playing in the background, and yet it was Johnny who stood out with his one-note singing. So there's also other metaphors used, like how the Niagara fell still. Traffic comes to a halt, and in the sky, thunderstorms stop clapping. So this song is a two-sided take on the power of music. On one hand, it's a satirical piece that makes fun of singers who can only sing one note. On the other hand, it's a song about the power of personality to create amazing music, even when the singer is not the best singer in the world. Another beautiful song called What Is This Thing Called Love? Now this one's a song about the roller coaster of falling in love. So the singer is singing about how before love entered her life, she was living this humdrum life. And then she fell in love. And then she's all happy and at peace. And then love flies out of the window again. So now the singer's back to square one. She's wondering, what does love really mean? And where can she find true love? She remembers a time when she was happy and she felt like she was in the sunshine enjoying nights of good cheer at night time. And then when they broke up, she feels chills like winter and wonders why she fell in love at all. So it's a song about the ups and downs of love. And finally, You Are the Top. A typical love song. It talks about somebody the singer calls her one and only love. The lyrics talk about these qualities that make this person the best person in the world. This person is not just extraordinary, but an essential component of the singer's daily life, making him an invaluable presence in her life. So it's a beautiful sentimental love song of love and admiration. So that was more great hits by Anita O'Day, and this is the Weekend Jazz Update with Jashani Silva. We're going for a short break, but we'll be right back after that. Here's Anita with. And you're tuned into the Weekend Jazz Update with Jashani Silva. On today's episode of the Jazz Update, it's all about the great jazz icon Anita O'Day, her life and times, and best music. We've come to an end of today's episode of the Jazz Update, so now let's recap what we were talking about. Anita O'Day, a singer who won fame for her rhythm and vocals and her interpretations of ballads and her scat singing or improvisational singing. She took over the jazz scene in the bebop and swing era, went on to inspire countless singers who came after her, from Helen Merrill to June Christie to Chris Connor. In 1930, she won a ballroom dance contest, and that's what started her music career. At the age of 19, she was singing professionally in clubs across Chicago. In 1941, she recorded her first big hit with Gene Krupa's band, a song called Let Me Off Uptown, a collaboration with Roy Eldridge. She went on singing with Krupa's band till 1943, started performing with the Stan Kenton band in 1945. Then in 1946, she embarked on a solo career. In the 1950s, she produced some Hallmark albums, winning a name for herself as a leading jazz singer of her time. From then on, she toured with clubs and her own small ensembles. So now let's talk about some of her greatest hits of all time, the top 3 songs that we discussed on the Jazz Update today. Beautiful Love is a song about bewilderment, how love turns people's lives upside down. The first line says, "Beautiful love, you are a mystery," meaning love is beyond anybody's understanding. The second line says, "Beautiful love, what have you done to me?" Which means, in the song, Anita is reflecting how her love moved her out of her comfort zone, making her experience out of the ordinary emotions and experiences, and she is so thrilled to be living the high life that love brought her. On the other hand, the song then takes a rather negative undertone. It talks about the anxiety and pain that also comes with love. Angel Eyes is a song about when love isn't met with like emotion from the opposite party. The result is agony. In the first stanza, the singer is trying to let go of the illusion of love, but it's so difficult. Her heart lacks the peace that she can only find if her lover is within reach. There's also the metaphor used of angel eyes to signify those qualities that the singer's lover has that makes him so attractive to her. The song goes on to say that the singer's love is not reciprocating those feelings, and that's why it's so hard. Then the scene shifts. The singer is singing to a crowd of people making merry. She interrupts them, saying, she's got to leave for the night, she's got to go and find where her lover is. So it's a song about escapism and longing for unrequited love. And finally, I Could Write a Book. Now in this song, the singer is struggling to bring words to her feelings. She's saying she's not a literate person and she's struggling to bring words to how she feels. She says she's bad at things like arithmetic, but she wants to learn by observation and emulation. She's singing about this romantic relationship and how she wishes she could just write a book about it. So the song basically talks about learned literacy versus informal education, learning through observation. In this song, Anita O'Day is singing, when we take up learning a subject, we often forego creative expression for traditional memorization, which is like the norm in education. For example, when one is in love, one could write a book about that experience without even having studied the art of writing. So it's a song about how the power of love can elevate creative expression to the level of formal education. And that's the theme of this song. Tenderly, a romantic song that talks about nature and love. Right off the bat, we are transported to a world of breeze gently riffling through the rustling leaves. And then the lovers arrive and they are lost in their own world. The second verse goes into detail, and we realize this love scene is taking place on a beach. There's waves lapping at the coast. And the song ends with a beautiful note of passion and love in that relationship. It's a song about how the power of love can elevate creative expression to the level of formal education. In this song, the singer is struggling to bring words to how she feels. She's saying she's not a literate person. She's bad at things like arithmetic, but she learns by observation and emulation. And she's singing about this romantic relationship and how she wishes she could write a book about it. So this song is about her relationship with her lover. And the song's theme is about learned literacy versus informal learning, learning through observation. The singer is saying, when we take up learning a subject, sometimes we forego creative expression and observation for traditional memorization, which is the norm in education. But when one is in love, one is inspired, one could write a book about that experience without even having studied the art of writing. And finally, If the Moon Turns Green, another beautiful song about how love can completely alter one's perceptions on life. The singer starts off by saying how it all began when happiness wasn't to be and fate wasn't kind. Into her life, love appeared like a light in the darkness, and nothing was the same anymore after that. The singer is dreaming of the amazing things that are in store, things that only come with being in love. And she's singing how even if the moon turned green and shadows came to life and walked around, it wouldn't feel that strange because when in love, magic happens. So that was some popular hits by Anita or Day, also a peek into her biography discussed on today's episode of the Jazz Update. And we've come to an end of the Jazz Update for today. I'll see you again next week, same time. Have a great week ahead.